Hello, my dear viewers. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's often overlooked, yet tremendously impactful. We're peeling back the layers of what we know as parenting to reveal a darker side that, unfortunately, many children experience: toxic parenting. The effects of this can ripple through a person's life in ways that are often hard to predict, and it's not always obvious. Some signs are blatant, while others may be hidden under the guise of just being strict or wanting what's best for you. So are you ready to discover the 10 signs of toxic parents? You might be surprised at what you find. Sign number 1 is emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is a form of manipulation that can be as damaging as physical harm, if not more so. It involves consistent patterns of harmful behaviors such as belittling, shaming, or making a child feel guilty on a regular basis. Let's say, for instance, a parent constantly criticizes their child's every move, never missing a chance to point out flaws or mistakes. This is a classic example of emotional abuse. These relentless negative comments can chip away at a child's self-esteem, making them feel worthless and unloved. They may start to believe they can never do anything right, leading to issues with self-confidence that can persist into adulthood. Moreover, the mental health implications of emotional abuse are profound. It can lead to anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts in severe cases. Remember, constant negative criticism is not constructive, it's destructive. The second sign to watch out for is neglect. Now, neglect is a more slippery slope, often overlooked or misunderstood. It's not just about failing to provide for a child's basic needs like food, water, and shelter. It also encompasses a lack of emotional support, ignoring a child's feelings and disregarding their mental well-being. Neglect can come in many different forms. It could be as simple as consistently forgetting to pick your child up from school, constantly missing out on important milestones, or repeatedly failing to provide emotional comfort when a child is distressed. Why is this so damaging? Because neglect can have a profound impact on a child's development. It can lead to feelings of insecurity and worthlessness, hinder their ability to form healthy relationships, and even stunt their emotional growth. Children who experience neglect may struggle with trust issues and have a hard time expressing their feelings or understanding others. It's important to remember that every child deserves care, attention, and love. They need to know that they are seen, heard, and valued. Neglect, whether physical or emotional, leaves lasting scars. Sign number 3 is excessive control. Now let's take a moment to understand what we mean by excessive control. It's not about parents setting boundaries or guiding their children. Instead, we're talking about a level of control that verges on the obsessive, where parents become over-involved in every aspect of their child's life, from their decisions to their freedoms. Imagine a parent who dictates every move, every choice, every interaction their child has, refusing to allow them the room to make mistakes, to learn, to grow. This form of control goes beyond protection. It stifles the child's ability to develop a sense of independence, to build their self-confidence, and to learn how to navigate the world on their own terms. It's like a gardener who won't let a plant grow naturally, but instead tries to force it into a shape it was never meant to take. The result? A warped growth that is far from the potential the plant had. Remember, a child is not a puppet, but an individual who needs space to grow. A parent's role is to guide and support, not to control and dominate. Sign 4 is manipulation. A sinister tactic often employed by toxic parents. Manipulation can take various forms. It could be a guilt trip where parents make their children feel bad for not meeting their expectations, or it could be gaslighting, where parents deny or twist the reality to create doubt in their child's mind. Another common form is playing the victim, where parents blame their children for their own failures or unhappiness. The objective of these tactics is to control the child's actions and emotions. Now imagine the world through the eyes of a child caught in this web of manipulation. They often feel confused, guilty, and responsible for their parents' happiness. They may doubt their own perceptions and even their worth. Over time, this manipulation can erode a child's self-esteem and mental health. It can make them question their abilities and worth, leading to long-term issues such as anxiety, depression, and trouble forming healthy relationships. Remember, manipulation is not always overt. It's often a covert form of abuse that's hard to recognize, especially for the child experiencing it. but its impact is severe and long-lasting. Manipulation is a covert form of abuse that can be hard to recognize but has severe impact. The fifth sign is harsh punishment. Now, there's a world of difference between discipline and harsh punishment. Discipline is a method of teaching and guiding, a way to help children understand consequences and learn right from wrong. However, harsh punishment is a different beast altogether. Harsh punishment is not about teaching, it's about instilling fear, it's about control, not guidance. When a child consistently faces harsh punishment, the world becomes a place of fear and anxiety. They live in constant dread of doing something wrong, of stepping out of line. This fear can cripple their ability to explore, to learn, and to grow. Moreover, consistent harsh punishment can distort a child's understanding of love and relationships. They might grow to associate love with fear and pain, which can lead to unhealthy relationships in their future. They might interpret harsh treatment as an expression of love, which is a dangerous misconception. So, while discipline is a necessary part of parenting, it's essential to remember that it should always be about teaching and guiding, not instilling fear. It's about helping the child grow into a better person, not controlling them with fear. After all, discipline guides, harsh punishment harms. Sign number 6 is narcissism. Now, what does narcissistic parenting look like? Well, imagine a parent whose primary focus is on their own grandeur and self-worth, rather than the well-being of their child. This might include a lack of empathy, an inflated sense of self-importance, or a constant need for admiration and validation. Now, you might wonder, how does this affect the child? Narcissistic parents, by placing their needs above their child's, can significantly damage a child's sense of self-worth and self-esteem. The child may feel they are never good enough, or that their accomplishments are always overshadowed by their parents' achievements or desires. This can lead to the child struggling with feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, and a lack of self-confidence. Remember, a parent's role is to nurture and guide their child, not to use them as a means to fulfill their own needs or desires. When a parent's ego takes center stage, the child's needs are often ignored. Sign 7 is sexual inappropriateness. This form of toxicity can manifest in various ways, ranging from overt abuse to inappropriate comments or boundaries. Let's be clear. Any sexual behavior that makes a child uncomfortable is inexcusable and can have severe, long-lasting impacts. One form of sexual inappropriateness is overt abuse, a horrific act that can leave deep emotional scars. This is not limited to physical contact, but can also include exposure to explicit materials or discussions. On the other end of the spectrum, there are inappropriate comments or boundaries. While these may seem less severe, they can still be deeply damaging. Comments that objectify or sexualize a child, or cross the line of what is acceptable, can leave a child feeling objectified and uncomfortable in their own skin. This kind of behavior can shatter a child's sense of safety, personal boundaries, and self-esteem. It can also warp their understanding of what constitutes a healthy relationship, leading to potential issues in their future connections. Inappropriate sexual behavior is a clear violation of trust and boundaries. Sign number 8 is jealousy. It might come as a surprise, but yes, parents can be jealous of their own children. This can manifest in many ways, from a parent feeling threatened by their child's achievements to resenting their relationships or independence. In a healthy parent-child relationship, parents relish in their child's accomplishments. They're proud, they celebrate. However, in a toxic dynamic, a parent's jealousy can lead to a child feeling guilty for their successes, as though they're somehow betraying their parent by doing well. This jealousy can stunt a child's personal growth. They might start to suppress their talents or achievements, fearing it might trigger their parents' jealousy. They may even start to sabotage their own success to keep the peace at home. This is not just unhealthy, it's destructive. A child should never feel guilty for outshining their parents. They should never have to dim their light to accommodate a parent's inability to handle their shine. A parent's jealousy can cast a shadow over a child's brightest moments. Sign number 9 is a lack of support. A child's confidence and sense of self-worth are heavily influenced by the support they receive from their parents. This support can take many forms, including emotional, academic, or moral. When a child lacks this crucial backing, it can severely impact their self-esteem and ambition. Imagine a young mind full of dreams and aspirations, but without the necessary encouragement from their parents to pursue them. This lack of support can lead to feelings of isolation and can create a sense that their dreams are less important, less achievable. It's like trying to build a house without a foundation. It's bound to crumble. A child should never feel unsupported, especially by their parents. Encouragement fuels ambition, and without it, a child may feel as though they are navigating through life alone, which can be a heavy burden to bear. A parent's role isn't just to provide for their child materially, but also to be their biggest cheerleader, instilling in them the belief that they can achieve anything they set their minds to. The absence of this vital support can lead to a child doubting their abilities and potential. Support is the backbone of a child's confidence and sense of worth. The 10th and final sign is violence. This is perhaps one of the most overt and alarming signs of toxic parenting. Violence can take various forms, from physical abuse to a child witnessing violent altercations between parents. The presence of violence in a home is not only distressing, but it also dangerously normalizes force as a means of resolution. A child exposed to violence may come to associate love with aggression, or they may come to believe that they are deserving of such treatment. The trauma from these experiences can extend well into adulthood, affecting the child's emotional well-being and physical health. It's important to remember that violence does not necessarily have to be physical. It can also be emotional or psychological, with parents using violent language or threatening behaviors to control or manipulate their child. Every child deserves to grow up in a safe, nurturing environment. Violence, in any form, is a violation of this fundamental right. It's a glaring sign of toxicity that should never be ignored or justified. Remember, violence is never a solution, and it leaves deep wounds. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards understanding and healing. We've journeyed through 10 signs of toxic parenting, from emotional abuse to violence. These behaviors can significantly impact a child's development, and recognizing them in your own upbringing or parenting style is crucial. It's essential to remember that help is available. Professionals can provide strategies to cope, heal, and break the cycle of toxicity. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content like this. Until next time, take care of yourself and those around you.